And is it political when you lose? Because it definitely sure ain't political when you freaking win. So don't be using those excuses. Just get better.
So I came out to shine. I came out to show out. I've done my work, you know, and God willing, we're going to press him, we're going to push him, and we're going to come out with a victory.
I'm not competing against anyone. Everyone's here to compete against me.
Where's he weak? Where do you get the champ?
Oh, I get him everywhere. I get him everywhere. Everywhere. I'm more complete. I have a more superior physique.
What's up, Desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video. And today I'm wrapping up the 2020 Mr Olympia Press Conference. It's just finished up, and it seemed like Phil Heath was angry in this one. He had a lot to say. He dropped F-bombs and swore a little bit. And then Brandon Curry, he was pretty much a class act through the whole thing, but he had a little bit to say about wanting to retain that title as well. Also, it was a battle between Chris Bumstead and Breon Ansley, as we've seen play out on social media over the past couple of months. Plus, Dexter Jackson gives an emotional farewell. So let's start with Brandon Curry versus Phil Heath. Now, this was pretty much a two-stage battle, mostly with Phil Heath saying a lot of the stuff. He was dropping F-bombs during this press conference as well, which is sort of surprising. I haven't really seen that before. I mean, we've seen Kai Green and Phil Heath go back and forth before, but really it was more Phil Heath sort of seemed like he was really there just to get it on and fight, and he's sort of didn't even want to be at the press conference, and he sort of said that. He said he needs to save some of this for tomorrow. So I'm excited to see what Phil Heath brings to the stage. I mean, we don't know what he's going to bring. We don't know what the midsection is going to look like, but he did say he wants to collect Sandos. So that sort of implies maybe Phil Heath is wanting to go for 10 Mr. Olympias possibly, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, I'm going to play out part one of the Brandon Curry versus Phil Heath battle.
And give it up for your reigning, defending Olympia champion, Brandon Curry.
Hello, hello.
Well, Brandon, you're in unfamiliar territory. For the first year, you're sitting in the position of defending champion. Great victory last year, well-deserved. Had the whole family on stage. Your wife stole your check while we were on stage. She gave you the Sandow, which was nice, but that $400,000 check just, boop, gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
It was very Debbie Mannion. That was something you would do, no question about it. Brandon, looking very Shaft today, very Richard Roundtree for those old enough in attendance to get that reference.
Lex Wheeler called him Soul Brother #1.
Soul Brother listen, Mr. Olympia #1. What do you think about defending the title this year?
You know, it's truly a blessing, truly an honor to be able to defend the title against such great champions here today. Very excited to get this weekend started. I appreciate all the people that were able to come out and support the event, and all you guys watching on the pay-per-view. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you tune in to prejudging and finals, because we're going to put on a hell of a show.
Well, Brandon, you took a little bit of flack last year, which I thought was very unfair, because we did not have the full lineup as it was. We were missing some names, you know, some contenders. And, you know, you had to deal with some of that. You know, unfortunately, these athletes these days got to deal with social media, which is not something the past champs. Jay, I think you just kind of caught social media towards the end of your run, so you didn't have to really deal with it a whole lot. But you guys do. And I thought it was unfair that you caught some flack for, well, you know, beat a subpar lineup. Well, all the names weren't there. What did you think about that after you won the title? I mean, listen, all you did is come and do what you were supposed to do. You came, you competed, you beat everybody you had to beat, you got the Sandow and the title. What did you think about that?
Well, you know, my history in bodybuilding has, you know, been one a lot of noise, you know. There's been noise always around, no matter what you accomplish, no matter what you don't accomplish. So, you know, I won. And, you know, you hear a little noise, but the fact of the matter is I won. And I'm written in the history books. So it's a blessing. I don't take it for granted. And there's nothing anybody can say or do to take that away from me.
Well, Sean, in lieu of this, I felt bad for you, Brandon. I really did. And I felt so bad that I thought to myself, you know what we got to do? We got to bring somebody back just to make Brandon feel a little bit better about the win and competing. And so we got this guy. He's new to the stage. Please welcome Phil Heath. So Brandon, just so you can feel good this year about competing, and you know you're going to try for that title. But we got 7-time Mr. Olympia looking to equal history. get number 8, put himself there on that pedestal with Ronnie Coleman and the great Lee Haney in the record books. $400,000 on the line. Phil, did you need any more motivation to come back?
How are you guys doing? I missed the hell out of you guys. Yeah. None of that was why I came back. Yeah. Essentially, I got into the sport for a reason, kind of like a lot of others that are sitting up here, and that's to, you know, have a dream, being able to accomplish that dream, and to continue to, you know, be on that path for personal excellence. And along that journey, I learned a lot. And the best thing that happened to me was actually losing in 2018. That was the best thing that happened to me. And then taking a step back, getting recovered, and then being able to really focus on the mastery of myself as a man, not just a bodybuilder. When I was able to watch the show last year, I was able to find that spark. And that was something that I thought, wow, like, that's all I needed. And then I realized that winning 7 in a row, there's only so many people that can say that, right? I mean, we already know this. But then I realized that winning 8 is just something that only 2 other men can say they've done. And I just realized that, you know, there was some unfinished business. I wanted to get back in the gym as soon as possible and to put myself in a position to be at my all-time best. And that is why I'm here, is because I truly felt that I needed that time. I needed those situations to happen and to be a living vessel to let everyone know that you can get knocked down and get back up and you come back better, not just with your muscles, but with your mind, body, and spirit. And that is why I'm here. And I'm so freaking excited. You know, I've kept everything under wraps, but I am the gift. So you know what's gonna happen come tomorrow. I'll be able to show you what's going on, because everybody's been wanting to know what's going on. And that's what I'm here to do, is to unveil that gift and to put on a great show. Everybody up here belongs here. They've all had a tremendous amount of adversity, and I will applaud each and every one of you, men and women, because training during a freaking pandemic, we all have had our share of craziness. But we're here for all the same purpose, and that's to walk away as a champion. And I'm here to walk away as an iconic figure in this sport that I love.
Now, Phil, if I'm not mistaken, I try to keep up on my homework and all, but isn't it your birthday tomorrow?
Yes.
So you'll be on stage on your birthday looking for number 8, looking to take this guy out and everybody else that's sitting here. Now, in all fairness, because I do my homework, Sean, unlike yourself, and I put some stats together, there's not a gentleman on this stage or in the show who's ever gotten 1 point off of Phil Heath.
Dexter did, but that was like...
Yeah, we're not counting that, though. Don't worry about that.
2009.
Yeah, that's so old, we're not even going to go there, you know, but we'll get to Dexter in a minute. But you get the idea.
Absolutely.
So you're back. Title coming. You're going to put yourself up there with Ronnie Coleman and Lee Haney. You taking these guys out, Phil? You're not one short for words, brother. What's coming?
Essentially, I'm just here to be at my all-time best. I don't really have to explain it very much. I've allowed myself the opportunity to be at my best. I've done that work. I've got 7 freaking sandals in my goddamn house, and I want 8. And I've done something that no one else has ever done in the sport. I have 3 different types of sandals. I have the original, I have the 50th, and I have that. And I look to be a sandal collector for a long time. So yes, I put in the work. I don't really have to talk much about it. You guys know what I'm about. I'm about that life. And I'm about this life and getting it done. I don't want to get too excited because I've got to save some of this shit for tomorrow night.
Well, let's give some perspective, Bob. It started back in 2005 when he was the USA champion. I believe that's when Jay Cutler kind of pointed him out to us that this guy was special. 2006. It's been 15 years since 2005. There's some debate out there. Did you lose the Mr. Olympia, or did Sean Roden win the Olympia, and how did you economize that in the past 2 years?
It doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter what I think about what happened at that time. Judges made their call. Did I like it? Hell no. I would not be the competitor I am if I was okay with it. But I had to look at myself in the mirror, because one thing I have learned is that when you go outside and you start pointing fingers at people like he fucked me, and excuse my language, but I'm gonna be real. Can I be real with you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. If I'm out there pointing fingers, he screwed me, he did this, there's 3 more pointing back at me. What can I do to get better? What can I do to be more accountable for my own actions? And is it political when you lose? Because it definitely sure ain't political when you freaking win. So don't be using those excuses, just get fucking better. And don't get bitter. And that's what I did.
All right.
Well said, Phil.
So after this, I went to William Bonac, and I actually found it really interesting because William Bonac last year, he said he stepped on stage at the Olympia at 100 kilograms, which is only 220 pounds. So he's only 8 pounds away from being a 212 competitor, where you got to say even 212s, William Bonac last year would have absolutely dominated, but 8 pounds is a little bit to go as well. But perhaps he could have even sucked down to that 212, who knows. But he said this year, he's at about 106 kilograms, which is over 13 pounds heavier. So he's over 233 pounds for this year's Olympia. And that's a considerable amount of weight. And everyone did say last year he was downsized to that Olympia, and it was because he had a bit of an injury. He had a leg injury. His legs didn't quite look the same, and he just looks a lot bigger this time around. And with that extra 13 pounds, it makes me wonder, is William Bonac more of a contender this year than he was last year? Because last year, he still finished second place in the Olympia. And if he is genuinely 13 pounds bigger, or 13.2 pounds exactly if it's 6 kilograms, then he's going to be dangerous. So here's what William Bonac had to say.
Last year I had a little bit of accident, let me say it like that, like 5 weeks out. So last year I was just like 100 kg.
Bob, you want to do the math? 100
Yeah,
kg? How many pounds?
I think it's 2.5 or 2.
I want him to be right.
220, yeah.
20.
And this year?
This year, so yesterday I weighed myself in the morning and I was 106 kg.
235 for you, Bob. 235. He's 5 foot nothing.
And now, before we pivot back to the open men's bodybuilding, I want to go to the classic. Now, this has been pretty much a battle that's been going on for months on social media. It's Chris Bumstead versus Breon Ansley. Other people have got involved. I've had Breon on my channel, and we've had both guys have had really a lot to say, especially Breon Ansley, who's wanting to come back and get back his Classic Physique Olympia title. Breon Ansley has 2 Classic Physique titles. Chris Bumstead won last year and stole it from Breon Ansley by 1 point. So here's what these guys had to say.
About the stash last year.
The stash.
Yeah, it was like the difference in winning and losing.
That's what won it. He won it by a mustache.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Canada, your reigning defending Classic Physique champion, Chris Bumstead. The Canuck.
And might I add, the stash is a little thicker this year.
It does look a little thicker, yes. Very Freddie, the singer from Queen.
Well, listen, we're going to go a little back and forth here. Because we can't let this moment go. I got Breon Ansley here, 2-time champ. He has no mustache, okay? Listen, clean shaven. He says he did not lose by the mustache, and he's going to prove it this year, Chris.
He can try.
No, and it's no mustache, it's no fro. It'll be straight up physique and a complete physique for sure.
Bob, this is the apples and oranges type of a thing, because the physiques are not similar. They're very different.
No, listen, and that's what makes it tough for the judges, because they've got, listen, what's classic? Is classic a look? Is it the physique? Is it a combination of both? Breon, you got beautiful lines, man. Obviously, there's a reason that you won the title. But you're right, Chris, I mean, he's 6 inches taller than you. He's got the he's got the hair working, and the whole thing. It's apples and oranges. What are you going to give to the judges that they can distinguish and get that title back in your pocket?
I'm just going to outpose. I think it's outpose, Chris. It's just not about my...
Where's he weak? Where do you get the champ?
Oh, I get him everywhere. I get him everywhere. Everywhere. I'm more complete. I have a more superior physique from head to toe. And it's just about displaying it correctly. But first and foremost, let me thank, I would be remiss if I didn't thank Jake and, Tamer and the Olympia staff and committee. I know it was an arduous but yet courageous move to come into Orlando, and I'm very grateful to you guys, very grateful to you fans and supporters for following us here. You guys, make us, and you guys are everything to us. Thank you guys so very much. And we get to display our hard work, and we're very grateful. I know all of us are, to put it on display finally for you guys at the end of the year, to finish this year off very, very strong. But back to you, Dan. Excuse me, Dan.
Dan, Bob, whatever.
Bob.
All the same.
We're all in the same group.
No, I don't need to. It's not a physique thing. Even though I improved in areas of my physique.
Not a physique. It's the classic physique. What do you mean it's not a physique thing?
As far as me taking the title.
Why did he beat you last year?
He beat me because. It was
because of you, or is it because of him? Like, did you just come in off? You let the door open, he snuck in there, or did he just take it from you? Come on, give me something.
No, I will respect the judge's decision and say that he beat me, with probably 3 more poses to my 2.
Okay, that's fair.
And that's what it all comes down to as far as the numbers are concerned. But I still feel my physique is superior again. My physique is more dominant, and I have more of a complete bodybuilding classic physique.
Chris, he's more complete. What are you going to do?
When I came in last year and you asked me this similar question, I told you Classic Physique hadn't found someone who had set the standard of what it was meant to look like. And that was my goal last year. I wanted to come in, and I believe because it was such a new division, it was still searching for someone to be at the top, someone for the young kids coming up that they wanted to strive towards that standard Classic Physique look. I showed that last year, and I was young, and I was not complete. I was not 100%. This year, I'm going to show an improved version of that. Next year, an improved version of that, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys what the standard of Classic Physique is and what's going to be in the future, and I'm going to set it.
Now, excellent, Chris.
Well,
now, Sean,
there's some guys that aren't on this stage that are going to be up there offering different looks as well.
Well, we've got a wrench to throw in there now. Now, even though we've got just a representation of the athletes here, and we've got the top 2, there's a little wrench in thrown in there this year, and that's Logan Franklin. Now, I bring that up. I don't know if Logan's here. I hope he's here. But Logan has emerged as a strong contender for this title. He had a great year. Now, the reason I bring this up, Breon, is you talk about apples and oranges and comparisons for the judge and all that. Logan Franklin is very, very similar to Chris. Similar height, structure, weight. Obviously, you guys got the parameters in which you have to adhere to with height and weight for classic division. Are you worried about Logan Franklin? Because he does match up very well with the current champ.
Not one bit. Not one bit. Worried about anybody.
Why not?
Not worried about anybody. And I'm glad you brought that up, because if you're saying that, the classic structure and the look is similar to Chris's, that does not coincide with me losing by 1 point last year. That doesn't coincide by a shorter competitor, Alex Campanero, winning the Arnold Classic. That doesn't coincide with Terrence Ruffin coming second at the Arnold Classic, a shorter competitor, shorter than me.
He's shorter than Sean, I think, and that's hard to do.
So for everybody out there talking about Classic is going in a certain direction, taller direction, this and that, think about all that. Think about all that, and that's... I want you to think long and hard about all that. And then, the tides are going to turn again Saturday night anyway to a shorter classic competitor in Breon Ansley. So there we have it.
All right.
There we have it.
Well, Bob, let's give the champ the last word, because obviously
Always.
he's the champion. You got 2 to your credit. Of course, Danny Hester won the first one.
Yeah.
What did you do differently coming into this one to make sure you walk home with that trophy this year?
I mean, first off, I'm just fired up to be here right now. I'd love to be stern like Phil Heath over there, just glaring in the crowd, but I'm too excited. I can't have my smile, and it feels damn good to be back as the champ. And I'm excited to be here in front of you guys in Orlando. And I know we've all had some struggles finding gyms around our city and whatnot, but no struggle compared to what it must have been like moving this entire show across the entire country.
Right.
So I'm grateful for Dan and the Olympia team that we can be here right now and put on a show for the crowd at home on pay-per-view watching this. I'm super grateful for everybody and just really excited to be here, to be completely honest. So I had to put that out there. Can't have my smile right now. But different this year, it was just more work, to be completely honest. Last year was a learning process for me, and it was something I didn't feel like I was falling into my groove quite yet. And this year I really found myself. I got some advice from the champ himself, the GOAT, Phil Heath, And it was exactly what I've been doing this year. He told me to get to know Chris the man, not Chris the bodybuilder. Exactly what I'd been chasing throughout the year. I kind of got more in touch with myself, my mind, my mindset. COVID definitely helped with that, putting some focus on kind of internal stuff rather than external, and everything just falls into place after that. So it's been something where I've been a lot focused on myself this year, my mental game, and it truly feels like I'm coming in here, I'm not competing against anyone. Everyone's here to compete against me.
Spoken like a true champion right there. Chris Bumstead.
That's why he's the champ.
It was cool how both guys were not backing down there, but I think both kept it pretty respectful, but they both know what they're after. They both want to win that title, and I think we're going to see these guys both at their best this year, so that's going to be really exciting. But let's pivot back to Brandon Curry and Phil Heath. Now, Phil Heath did not back down once I went back to him, and he seemed pretty fired up.
Got that look, man. You got that look in your eye, like, you know what? Like you just want to rip your stuff off right now and let's get to a pose down right here on the spot.
Right? We can all be honest with that. I've beaten a lot of guys along this journey. I've beaten a lot of legends along this journey. And I think a lot of people forgot about that. You know, there's a gentleman, Jay Cutler, in the audience. I remember when he lost. And they wrote his ass off real quick. And I remember chatting with him, and he'll tell you. I went up to Hani, I said, man, if you work with him, man, like let's see what he can do. Because I wanted to see what he could really do. And he kicked the shit out of all of us in 2009. Yeah. And I was up on that stage as well. You know, so I know what can be done. I know how fans can be emotional. I know how I can make mistakes. I know how I could take things for granted. And I know that I can grow from it. And I'm here to show that. And I'm thankful for that opportunity. Because a lot of people, a lot of people just didn't, you talked about Brandon being disrespected and stuff like that. Man, I've been disrespected a lot throughout my career. I've been discredited throughout my freaking career. And the only thing I can focus on is just win. You can't win with that type of noise. It ruins the vibration within inside, so you can do your absolute best on stage. You have to reduce all the noise, so then you can focus on your energy. And that's all I did over the past however many years when I didn't go on stage. But I knew when I get back there, I'm gonna be a different person. And that different person is dangerous. And I think everybody's waiting to see what's gonna happen tomorrow night.
Bob, you had a good read on the look in his eyes. Tell me about the look in this guy's eyes.
I can't see his eyes. He's got glasses on. Yeah, there you go. Listen, Brandon's cool.
What is he thinking right now? Because this is his title. A lot of people think it's slippery. Lee Haney said there's nothing more dangerous than a man with kids at home in defense of his title. He had kids pretty much throughout his whole career. You got 4. Are you hungry?
Well, I want to say I really do appreciate Phil for coming back to the table. This is a dream come true. It's an honor. It's something I've been longing for a long time, to be good enough to stand toe-to-toe with the champ. Honestly, I think we knew this was eventually going to happen. And I'm on cloud 9. It's like I'm dreaming right now. It's like I actually get this opportunity. It's actually real, because I thought it was going to be a little elusive. 2 years ago, a year ago, maybe not. But when I got word that Phil was ready to take this title and come and challenge me, I was excited. I was very excited. Because like I said, I grew up, coming up, looking up to Phil, watching him dominate the sport. And I'm like, man, when am I going to be good enough? When am I going to be good enough to stand toe-to-toe with Phil Heath? And here we are. As the champion, I got Phil trying to take this title away from me.
Well, you're 24 hours away from that dream matchup, Brandon. And I know when we talked initially, when Phil made the announcement he was coming back, you were very genuine in saying, you know what? I'm glad he's coming back. You didn't miss a hitch. I mean, you said, I want him on stage to prove. Listen, this was no fluke last year. I don't care who showed up at the line. It wasn't my fault he wasn't in the lineup, or this guy or that guy. But I want him on stage to legitimize, and I want to take him on one-on. You were adamant with, you loved the idea of him coming back.
I mean, how do you become great, right? You
got to be great.
You got to be greatness. And Phil is a great champion. And like I said, it's an honor to compete against a great champion, a legend in the sport, one of the greatest in our sport. And, so I came out to shine. I came out to show out. I've done my work, and God willing, We're going to press them. We're going to push them. And we're going to come out with a victory.
I like
Another
it.
history is going to be made.
Listen.
You can't stop it.
Hey, listen, when you're the champ, you act like the champ, okay? If he didn't have that kind of an attitude, he wouldn't be having that Sandow on his mantle. But Phil he had the carpenters out last week, and he actually made his mantle a little bit bigger. Lee Haney said he actually stopped competing because he ran out of room on his mantle. Phil said, I ain't going down that road. I know people. All right, we're going to rifle right down the champion row here. Big Ramy.
Yes, sir.
We have heard this for years now. Big Ramy's coming. Big Ramy's coming.
So let me know what you think about what Brandon Curry and Phil Heath had to say in this. Also, do you think William Bonac is an absolute contender? And to finish off this video, we're going to go to Dexter Jackson's farewell, and he gets really emotional in this. So it's pretty cool to see Dexter Jackson, who never really shows much emotion outside of any of his sort of stuff. I've never seen him like that. He always seems too cool and walks on the stage super, super slow. But it's cool to see that, I suppose, that vulnerable, emotional side of Dexter Jackson. And we're going to finish this video up with that.
And I love you guys. I love this sport as well, so I want to give a shout out to Mr. Mannion, to the IFBB, to NPC, to Jake Wood, all the major players, Dan Solomon, all the past greats that I looked up to. Everybody who had an impact on my life, I want to give a shout out to you guys, and thank you so much. I want to give a shout out to my fans. You are one of the most important reasons why I've been around so long. There's come times where I've contemplated. I've always said I give myself a few more years. I've always said we'll see what happens. But I did say I'm retiring this time. And when I say that, that means just that. So don't nobody out there think I'm joking, because I'm not. So I hope you guys really get this pay-per-view, because it's gonna be special. I bought a special package for you guys, I promise you. I'm not just these guys that like to run their mouths, say, oh, I'm gonna be better than you, blah, blah. No, you know I'm gonna bring it when I say I'm gonna bring it. So all you great Olympians up here on stage that I've known for so many years, thank you guys so much for showing me so much respect.
Dexter the Blade Jackson.
Thank you guys so much, man, for showing me so much respect. You know, I used to say all the time that, you know, when the young guys come up and they say, what's up, Unc? What's up, Uncle? You know, that's like the true respect. That's the respect when people call you that. But when y'all call me Grandpa, I don't like that now. Don't call me Grandpa.
All right. Well, listen, Dex, I know you got something special that you're going to be bringing out tomorrow. We're all looking forward to it. We've got a few special things ourselves for you. So for your family and everybody that's coming out, Dexter, congratulations on a great career. No better spot to go out in the Olympia stage.
It's going down in 24 hours.
Champ, everybody.
So that's the highlights from the 2020 Mr. Olympia Press Conference. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think that Phil Heath is this confident for a reason? Do you think he's going to take his 8th Mr. Olympia title and tie the record with Ronnie Coleman and Lee Haney? Do you think Brandon Curry is super relaxed because he knows what he brings to the stage and he'll repeat? Let me know what you think on that. And who do you think is going to win out of Chris Bumstead and Breon Ansley based on what they had to say? And one other little bit of info as well is Chris Bumstead, he weighed into the Classic Physique wearing a jumper, a t-shirt and pants as well. Here's a little video. This is courtesy of Ron Harris from Muscular Development. He posted this up today on an Instagram live, and I did a little screen record of that. So credit to Ron Harris of Muscular Development on that one. And I want to encourage you guys as well, head to MrOlympia.com. I think it's Mr. Olympia Productions or OlympiaProductions.com. The link will be in the description regardless anyway. Order that pay-per-view. So this one was free, the press conference, but the pay-per-view obviously will be paid for, but it's going to be covered really well because this press conference, I mean, the video quality and everything was amazing. It was live streamed, so I'm assuming the Olympia is going to be much the same. If you want to follow all my coverage of the 2020 Mr. Olympia, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up from myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. So for Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding, we are out.